Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Dugout Football channel. Just to let people know that I am doing a fantasy Premier League mini league. As you can see on the screen, if you can just pop that code in, it's 4SV7XV and then the Dugout Football channel mini league. Everyone is welcome, so click that link and good luck. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dugout Football channel. And can you hear the noise of match preview time? Yes, the match previews are back. The Premier League is back on Saturday as the Reds start their 21-22 campaign with a trip to Carrow Road to face newly promoted Norwich City. And I am delighted to be joined by a very enthusiastic, a very optimistic Owen Thomas from the Kop On. How are you doing, Owen?
I am both of those things, absolutely enthusiastic and optimistic. I was just before we started recording this, I was looking at, I think you'll find this interesting, Doug, and hopefully the viewers as well. Not only did all 20 pundits from BBC Sport say that Liverpool weren't going to win the league, only 2 of those 20 said that Liverpool would even finish second. Not only that, but I've been scouring through the interweb and on sites like the Telegraph, ESPN, Sport Bible, golfnews.com, whoever they are, etc., etc. I've looked at about 15 sites, right? And I've counted 42 journalists, and none of them think that Liverpool are going to win the league. And many of them actually think Liverpool are going to be fourth after Man City, Chelsea, Man United, and I don't know where they're all coming from, but I hope that I'm saving all of their predictions, and I'm just gonna email them all and insult them all at the end of the year when Jordan does another shuffle.
I like your optimism, and I can't believe pundits alike are doing that as well. How are you feeling going into this game?
Well, as normal, I'm quite a worrying William, because there's always the gnawing thought in the back of my mind that we should not underestimate this team because the crowd will be up for it. Of course, on paper we're better than them, and in pre-season we're looking really good, aren't we? We've got the rhythm up. Players like Trent are coming, hitting the right form at the right time. Sadio Mane's been supreme, and we can go through. It's a long list of players: Harvey Elliott, Takumi Minamino. So I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really optimistic, but as a generally a little bit of an anxious person, I think sometimes there is this inkling at the back of my mind that nothing's sure in football, is it?
No, absolutely not. But yeah, obviously Norwich City newly promoted as well. I'm looking at some of their players now. They've obviously brought in a couple of new boys in Milot Rashica from Werder Bremen. There's Billy Gilmore as well. But I look at the rest of their squad. Angus Gunn's another one as well. But I look at the rest of their squad, and it's kind of the same squad that they actually had the last time they were in the Premier League.
There are lots of similarities, minus their main creative force, or one of the two, Buendia, 15 goals and 15 assists in the Championship last season, and that's not going to be very easily replaced. But they seem to have bought well, because I've looked at their new transfers, and I spoke to a guy called Dave Freezer, which is a wonderful name, and he's the chief writer of the Eastern Daily Press, like the Echo, the Liverpool Echo equivalent in Norwich. And he was, talking about the new signings. They seem very, very promising for them, but it will usually take time for them to gel. So that's a good thing. But they've got a good midfielder, Pierre Lys-Malou from Nice. He's a very good player, I think. Well, statistically he is. I didn't see much of him last season. It can go different ways, but usually when you sign a lot of players and you lose one of your main creative players, it takes a little while to recover from that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we have to credit Norwich, because when they were relegated, many people expected probably Daniel Farke to probably go, but he's actually stuck by, and he's actually managed to get them promoted again. But you don't see that very often with the clubs these days. You don't see them when they go down. They don't really stick with their manager. But you have to say that Norwich City and Daniel Farke have got a very, very good relationship. But my main worry with Norwich is they can only really play one way, and it's attacking.
I don't know enough about them. I mean, I know because I don't watch Championship football. I know that they kept 48. They kept clean sheets in 48% of their home matches last season in the Championship, which is not brilliant, but it's certainly not bad either. But yes, apparently they do like to attack, and surely that'll play into our hands, right? I mean,
yeah, hopefully. Hopefully, you would say. I do have to ask you, though, because this rumour has been doing the rounds really recently. Jeremy Doku, is he a player you would like at Liverpool?
I'm not convinced. In the arguments for column, he's young, he's pacey, he's tricky. Yeah. And someone called him a project player. And I think that's a very fair assessment of him, because he's by far and he's definitely not the finished product. And that's moving into the against column, like he's got a lot to work on. He's very raw, as they say. He's as raw as the sushi I had last week. But he only got 2 goals and 3 assists in, if you add up, it's like 25.7 90-minute matches. It's like 2,500 minutes or so, and only 2 goals and 3 assists. And people's argument, people who really like Doku and want us to sign him, usually it's off the back of the Euros, and you can never judge that. But and then they say, well, yeah, but with Klopp and with better players, he will improve his goal scoring. And yes, to a degree. But I think if you haven't got it, even at age 19, he's only just turned 19. If you're not banging in the goals then, you might never, you often actually never learn how to do it. It's just something that, if you ask goal scorers, Ian Rush, John Aldridge, they both talk about, it's something you're born with. You either you can kick the ball in the goal or you can't. And that's something that is a big red flag, too much of a red flag for me. What do you think about it?
I don't watch a lot of French football, so I can't really talk about him there. But I did see him at the Euros, and I don't base performances on the Euros. But there was one game against Italy where he was absolutely rapid. I think he won a penalty. From a very silly challenge. I think it was from Di Lorenzo, and I was impressed with him then. But I think he'll come in. I think if he does come in, he'll probably come as backup. And obviously with the African Nations Cup probably in January, although that's still on hold at the moment. I think we're going to need cover for sure. But he seems a very, very interesting player. It's a typical FSG signing, though, isn't it?
I think, to a degree, yes. In terms of like him being extremely rapid and tricky and young with potential, then yes. But I would say FSG usually target people with better end product. If you're going to have a typical FSG signing, someone like Jared Bowen, if West Ham somehow were to let him go for cheap, would be much better value. Or even a player I really like is Dan Juma from the Championship. Again, I just looked statistically, but also he stood out in the couple of games I did watch of Bournemouth last season. as someone who's tricky and direct, and he got 15 goals and I think it's 15 goals and 7 assists in the Championship last season. And someone like that with more goals and assists, he's also a little bit older, so his game's more developed. I think he's 23, possibly 24.
Yeah.
That is more of an FSG signing to me than Doku, who is just a pure project because, he would need to learn how to finish. And, so to come in and be fifth choice as a project or play at Rennes, start or maybe come off the bench occasionally, but, start most of the matches, then you would think that, he would want to do that for his development, really.
Yeah, and it does look like we will be having another outgoing. Xherdan Shaqiri looks like he's set to move to Lyon. I think everyone expected probably to, him go to Lazio, but Lyon. I know you watch a lot of French football. Is that a good move for Lyon?
I don't watch a lot of French football, actually. I mean, I live in France and I work in the football industry in France, but I don't have time. I don't have time to watch a lot of Liga. I tend to follow the Paris Saint-Germain matches and a few others here and there. But normally I don't have time. I did watch most of the first round on the weekend. Like I watched most of it. I watched 3 matches, the 3 main matches on the weekend. For Lyon, yeah, I mean, a good deal for them. I think it's a good deal for everybody, to be honest. Liverpool need him off the books. I think Harvey Elliott has a bigger ceiling, and he got 8 goals and 9 assists in all of his time with us, which is not a huge return. His attitude was good. I'll miss him. I like the way he sort of carried himself and conducted himself in his time at Liverpool. But it's the right time to move him on because we need space in the squad. And Harvey Elliott can play exactly the same position, but he's got much more potential, I think. Even though Shaq is a very talented guy. Yeah,
absolutely. Now, let's go into, obviously, the team news. Now, I was looking at this. Norwich have actually got a bit of an injury hit. They're actually injury hit. Todd Campbell is likely to miss this game. He's injured his ankle. And they've also had a COVID outbreak as well. Grant Hanley, Onel Hernandez, Jordan Hugo, someone Plasheta, I can't pronounce the first name. I would be very, very lucky if I could do that. Bali Mumba and Milot Rashika were all missing from the Newcastle friendly because of COVID-19. And Timu Pukki is back in training and is expected to start this game. But as far as our team news is concerned, obviously Andy Robertson is out. Curtis Jones is out too. Canaries is likely to make his debut. But Klopp did say today that Van Dijk and Gomez are in contention. If you were Jurgen Klopp, would you actually risk Van Dijk and Gomez for this game? Because if I'm being honest, I don't. I think they'll both be on the bench.
You would think that. Yeah, you would think that. I was talking with our friend Jack Mack on his channel yesterday, and in the 11 that I picked Matip and Konate because for me, it would be too much of a risk to chuck Virgil in so soon after his comeback. But we have to just trust the experts on this. This is one of the things that we can't tell as fans, can we? We have to just, they see them every day. They analyze them every day. We don't have the medical results. We don't know how many, white blood cells he's got, for example, which I'm sure that all of the sports scientists know, and how much oxygen there is in his blood after running, 10 kilometers. Like we don't know. We don't have any of that data. So we can't possibly know. But if he's fit, if they deem him to be fit and fit enough to do 90 minutes, then he's the first name on the team sheet. Well, and Mo Salah and Alisson Becker and Sadio Mane and Fabinho. He's one of the first names who you're definitely going to pick every time. There are more.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, we were talking off air. It's actually since 1993 since they beat us at Carrow Road. And it's actually 1994 since they actually beat us as well. Carrow Road's been a bit of a happy hunting ground for us, hasn't it?
We've scored loads of goals there. The Lallana game, obviously, springs to mind. Not broken glasses. What a memory! I mean, what a beautiful game of football that was. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we've torn them apart a lot of times. I think one of my favourite goals as well was one of Suarez's when he missed an absolute sitter and they were all laughing at him. Do you remember that one? And he skewed it completely wide. And then from the resulting goal kick, we won the ball, gave it to Suarez, and he scored.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure the Norwich fans hate us. I'm really sorry about their injury list and their COVID. Hopefully everyone gets well soon. But, in terms of how it would affect the result, of course, that should favour us greatly as well. But I don't know. I the crowd will be up for it. Carrow Road. My memory is absolutely awful. Don't do drugs, kids. Well, at least, do them in moderation. And yeah, so I don't remember too much about what happened at Carrow Road, but I'm sure the memories will come flooding back if I looked it up. What are your memories of Carrow Road, Doug?
Well, the last time we played, it was a very, very narrow 1-0 win. Manny scored. That was the title winning season that we did it. And since that, we always seem to score goals there. We've had a 3-0, we've had a 5-2. I think we've had maybe like a 4-1 as well. We do seem to score goals at Carrow Road. So I'm expecting a very, very good game. I think Norwich will be a test as well. I'm looking forward to seeing how Billy Gilmore does because, Billy Gilmore did actually very well when he played for Chelsea against us in the FA Cup a couple of seasons back as well. So that he does worry me. I suppose Pukki again. He is a bit of a danger man, but then again, he's not really had much training. But you'd expect him to start. Max Aarons for me is a big danger down there, right hand side. I'm actually surprised he's still at Norwich. I thought he would have been away long gone because you look at what's happened to Jamal Lewis playing in a very poor Newcastle side, and for me, I think Max Aarons is probably the better defender.
Yeah, I mean, he's a wonderful talent, isn't he? I was just looking at a couple of his stats. He was born on January the 4th, 2000, so he's 21 years old. Still got bags and bags of potential. Absolutely brilliant guy. 2 goals and 2 assists, but he managed to play 45 times in their championship winning season last year. So, and 36 times in the Premier League before that. So being 21 years old, a real hot prospect, and having all that experience, I'm going to look forward to seeing him. I mean, apart from against us, if he has a blinding game, but throughout the season, he's one of those great young talents to keep your eye on, isn't he?
Absolutely, yeah, I really, really do. So let's go into obviously team selections. I'll give you my team, and then you can give me your team if you want. So I've gone for Ali in goal. I've gone for right back Trent Alexander-Arnold. I've gone for Matip and Konate, the centre backs, and then I've got Tsimikas for left back because obviously Robbo is out, but thank goodness that is not as serious as we first thought. Fabinho in the central defensive midfield. I've gone for Naby Keita, and I've gone for James Milner, and then I've gone for Salah, Bobby, and Mane, and then on the bench I've got Kelleher, Van Dijk, Gomez, Ox, Thiago, Henderson, Jota, Elliott, and Minamino, because I don't think Origi will be on the bench there.
That's so exactly what I had. Exactly. I'm 100% in agreement. Yeah, totally. That is bingo. The only thing, like I said earlier, if the sports science people say that Virgil is fit to start, then he would come in for Konate, in my opinion. I don't know if he would come in place of Ibu or Joao Matip for you. I don't know which one would you drop if Virgil is fit.
You see, I think we have to say that Joel Matip has been so good in actually like playing for pre-season. He looked really good. He looks really fit. Okay, like obviously touch wood at the moment, but we obviously know with Matip and Keita. But Keita for me has been very good in pre-season. I think Matip's been very good. Konate is an absolute tank. I thought Virgil van Dijk was tall, but when you look at Konate, he's like I think he's like a centimetre taller than him, which is mental as well. I'm looking forward to seeing Tsimikas. I think he's had a pretty good pre-season as well. So yeah, look, I think I wouldn't play Thiago and I wouldn't play Hendo because they've hardly had any pre-season whatsoever.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're not ready. Thiago's complained about it, some kind of groin or some kind of muscle injury as well that he was carrying. That's why he didn't start for Spain. And Hendo, hasn't had enough pre-season, but he's it won't take him long to get up to speed if he's at all behind it. I really hope we get his contract sorted. Are you worried about that?
Yeah.
Why I was up at 3:15 this morning, worrying about it.
Yeah, I am a little bit concerned about it, but I think the thing is like he's got 2 years left on his current deal. Yes, I know that he'll be wanted by clubs to speak to I think next year or next the next again January. But I feel something will be agreed. I think he'll probably sign a new deal probably very soon. But yeah, I hope it's wrapped up by then because I think if you look at what Henderson has done as a captain, he'll want to stay at Liverpool. He will want to stay at Liverpool. But then again, he might want to go back to Sunderland potentially, maybe for like a one last hurrah, maybe.
Yeah, to wind up his career, I'm sure he will. But the way he looks after himself, I'm sure he will, have the self-belief that he can keep going for, another few years. It's just whether, FSG will be cold-hearted enough to say, well, look, you've been injured for the past couple of years. You haven't played more than, I think it's 2,200 minutes or something for either of the last two seasons. So, we're going to have to look at replacing you, but I think off the pitch, I think that would be a very cold decision. I think off the pitch, I mean, what a leader, and on it when he plays, he's an unbelievable player. We know that, even if the 42 journalists that I read just before coming recording this, they don't believe it. But no, Henderson is an extraordinary player, an extraordinary guy. And, I'd like to see him get a deal until he retires and stay on the coaching staff, as a motivator. Yeah. He's, and a leader. He's magnificent, isn't he?
Absolutely. Right. I have to get your prediction then. What's your prediction for the game?
Now you've told me about the injury crisis. If there are all those players missing with COVID and injury, that's almost eliminated that gnawing doubt in the back of my mind. And I'm going to say 3-0 to Liverpool.
3-0. If I had to ask you for your scorers?
Scorers, Sadio Mane, Jota off the bench, and Mo, because Mo always scores.
Yeah, I've gone 2-0. I think it will be I think they will give us problems. I think they might have a couple of chances early doors, but once we get our play into action, I think we'll win this comfortably. I'm going to go for Mo Salah to score the first goal, and I'm going to go for a Jota goal. Off the bench as well. But I mean, obviously 5:30 can't come quick enough. I mean, if you are wanting to watch this game, it is on Sky Sports main event, I think, and Sky Sports Premier League as well. But then again, if you don't want to watch that game, which I'm pretty sure nobody will want to not watch this game, you have Eintracht Frankfurt, Borussia Dortmund on the other channel. But I honestly think we will win this comfortably. And yeah, you have to feel for Norwich having obviously all this COVID etc. Nonsense, but. Yeah, it's going to be a really, really interesting game for sure. Owen, thank you very, very much for coming on. Always a pleasure to speak to you. Got anything coming up on Kop On?
Well, I'm here in Spain until the 3rd of September. And I don't have all that much work to do because lots of my students are on holiday. So it gives me a lot more time to do podcasts. So anybody watching this, if you don't listen to Kop On, you can get it on Spotify, you can get it on iTunes, you can get it pretty much wherever you get your podcasts. And I'm just really happy that we're in our 4th season, and the guests are. There are more and more contributors, and I love all the guests. I love hearing the different opinions. We respect everybody. Everybody's welcome. If anybody wants to be a guest, they can contact us at Kop On Podcast on Twitter or koponpodcast@gmail.com. So basically, I'm going to do as many episodes as I can before I go back to reality when I go back to Paris on the 3rd of September. And it's really exciting. We're going to have views from the opposition a lot of the time. And so have a listen to our Norwich preview with Dave Freezer. And we've got another episode. We've got 2 season previews out at the moment because it's just all exciting at the moment. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, thank you very, very much for coming on. And I'm pretty sure you'll see me on Kop On as much as possible. I'm a big contributor to Kop On and absolutely love it as well. But yeah, guys, let us know what you think the starting 11 will be. Let us know your prediction for the game. Norwich fans, Liverpool fans, let us know how you are feeling ahead of this one. But 5:30 cannot come quick enough on Saturday, and we will see what happens on Saturday. But until then, it's goodbye from both of us. You'll never walk alone. Cheers, Reds. Bye.